If you're the heaviest weight you've ever been, and no matter what you're trying, the fat around your stomach just won't go away, and you're trying to cut your calories, you're doing endless amount of cardio, and you feel so exhausted and confused, and you're not sure what you're doing wrong. And to be told up front, the reason why is that you've been told the wrong things. So in this video, I'll share how you can reduce the fat around your stomach so you can lose the weight and keep it off and be more healthy and have more confidence talking with clients and doing presentations, and also have a lean toned muscular body. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, make sure you hit the subscribe button and also turn on the bell to get notified whenever I'm making a new video about weight loss advice. I use these tips to lose 60 pounds in 8 months and kept it off for 12 years, and I also help several men and women lose the weight and keep it off, and I'm so pumped to help you as well. If you're an ambitious professional working a full-time job and you are struggling with losing the belly fat, before I share that advice, I need you to understand how belly fat is being developed. So when you're trying to lose weight, there's a lot of things that comes in place. For example, let's mention that you are not gaining weight just overnight, you are gaining weight over several years. So if you are eating more calories than you actually need, you're just gaining more weight. And the first place a lot of people like yourself are gaining weight is definitely around your stomach. So if you are just doing that for like several years, you're just gaining weight from your stomach and it's just bulging out around your stomach, your, let's say, your breast, then your shoulders, your lower back and your thighs, and then your face. It's also very different from where people are getting developed most fat. For example, myself, I'm easily just storing fat around my thighs and then my stomach, and I have some other clients who are just starting to gain more fat around their stomach and then their face and nothing around their arms. So it's very different. And also when you are trying to lose weight, the most difficult part where you are losing weight is just the stomach. So when you are trying to lose weight, you are not able to target specific areas of your body when you're trying to lose weight. If you are in a calorie deficit, I always recommend like 200 or 500 calorie deficit and 45% of protein, because just higher protein diets are just helping you feeling more full and not having so many cravings when you are trying to lose weight, because your problem is that you need to stick to this diet. So having a higher protein just makes you feel more satiated, and also 40% of your daily calories are coming from carbs, so you have more energy levels to work out and doing cardio and doing the steps. So if you just stay in this calorie deficit over a prolonged period of time, you will eventually just lose some weight around your face, your chest area, your arms, your thighs, your butt, and eventually you lose weight around your stomach. But most people are just too impatient, because I tell you straight, when I was trying to lose 30 or 60 pounds in 8 months and I kept off for 12 years, the first couple of months it was very slow because you're just not registering that you are losing so much weight. So that's why I always recommend that you need to have your diet in check with the 200 or 500 calorie deficit. I would recommend 200, and then you work out 5 times a week with strength training, to focusing on compound movements where you're targeting, let's say you're targeting your lower body, for example your legs. You're using 3 compound movements where you're targeting several muscle groups, and then you're also focusing on 2 isolation movements, because after you're using your most energy for the compound movements, you just don't have so much energy afterwards. Then you go to target specific muscle groups in your legs, for example leg extension, because you just don't have so much energy. So the more efforts you put into strength training, you are building more your glutes, but you're also just burning a lot more calories. And higher protein diets helps you burn 100 or 200 calories more each day without you doing so much different. And then you're also focusing on doing 4 times of cardio on a stationary bike with a heart rate of 150, for example 120, 150, and then you do that 20 minutes, and then you go for 6,000 steps each day. You have a step app where you're just tracking your steps, because if you're doing that, you're just automatically losing 1 to 2 pounds a week. And you also drink 4 or 5 liters of water, because if you're in a calorie deficit, automatically you're going to feel hungry because you're just eating less calories than your body needs to maintain its weight. So the hunger pains are just signaling that you're not getting enough food. So you can trick that hunger by just drinking more water. Whenever you're, for example, waking up, you're drinking 500 milliliters of water, and throughout the day you're doing the same. And by doing that, you're just only clearing your skin, and you're also making sure that you have enough energy levels when you're at work doing presentation, talking with clients. And I also want you to increase your fibers from 20 to 40 grams of fibers, because that also helps you have stable blood sugar and you're not feeling so hungry. And also have a combination of high and fast digestible and slow digestible carbs, because that's going to give you fast energy. Fast digestible carbs is going to give you fast energy. So if you are, for example, having a presentation, you're making sure that you have like very good energy levels for that. And then if you need to work for 5 hours, 6 hours, you need to have like more stamina, more energy levels to sustain that. So that's just the first week. So if you are doing that, you're losing 1 to 2 pounds a week. And you also want to track your progress. For example, if you're tracking your progress, you're weighing yourself every Monday morning after your toilet visit. You taking a dump, and then you don't eat anything, and then you're just making sure you weigh yourself without any clothes, because that is the most accurate way to measure the weight on the scale. And I would love to know, what is your biggest takeaway from the video so far? Just comment below and let me know. Then you take progress picture, front, back, and the side, because that's just easier if you have someone to help you. So the reflection of the light on your body is just showing that very authentic. So every 4th week you're going to compare that, and also you have some measuring tape where you can measuring all your body parts, and you make sure that you do that every 4th week as well. Because if you are not losing so much weight every single week, like if you're losing 1 pound every single week instead of 2, in the beginning you are building a lot of muscle, and muscle just weighs more. So you shouldn't be so sad about not losing 2 pounds, because if you're building 300-400 grams of lean muscle mass and you're reducing a lot of fat, you can tell that by looking at the measuring tape. Let's imagine that you are building more centimeters here around your upper back and over shoulder, and then your chest area and your back, and then the measuring tape shows that you have lost a couple of inches around your waist, because waist is just where most of the fat is stored. So if you're losing weight around your waist and you are building more muscle mass around here, that just shows that you're going to go in the right direction of losing body fat. Body fat is the most important thing you want to lose when you're trying to lose weight. So after 2 weeks you've been doing that, then you're probably just going to hit a weight loss plateau. And that is just a way for your body to signal that it needs to change up a couple of things. If you're losing less than a pound a week, it's just a signal that you need to break through this weight plateau where you're increasing from 4 to 5 times of cardio. If you're doing workout 4 times, then you're working out 5 times. And you're also making sure that your intensity is very high, because if you are working out, if you're doing like a set and then you're waiting 5 minutes, you only want to wait 45 to 60 seconds, because if you are making sure that you're working out intensely, you're also burning a lot more calories. And if you're doing that, you're just making sure that your metabolism is very high throughout the day. And also, let's imagine that you are focusing on building as much muscle mass, you're just going to look very more beautiful. Let's imagine that you have a lot of fat around your body, okay? So the more calories you're burning, the more muscle mass you are building, the more it just shows up around the body here. Let's imagine that you have zero, you are very overweight here, like your arm, because just that's the easiest way to show you. And then eventually you're just building more muscle, then the muscles is showing, and then you're reducing body fat. So the layer of fat around the muscle is just being decreased, so you're just appearing more toned and muscular. And that's the way you want to do it, because eventually it's a very gradual process when you're trying to lose weight. And around your stomach, you're going to lose weight around that, but it's a very you always have to think there's a marathon and not a sprint. And I fucked up a lot when I was trying to lose weight with too many cheat meals and a lot of things. But I don't want you to stress so much about that, because at the end of the day, you shouldn't be on a weight loss journey for like your whole life. The reason why people are just not finishing their weight loss journey is because you are fucking up too much, and you're just approaching it as a lifestyle and not being so dedicated to it. That's why I always recommend that you're starting out with a coach, because that just holds you accountable. If you don't have anyone to hold you accountable, it just makes it very difficult for you to like be very thorough every single day when you're trying to lose weight. Because if you're trying to lose weight, you also have to not only change your cardio, and your workout, you also have to increase your steps. Instead of 6,000 steps, 8,000 steps. If you are eating 200 calorie deficit and you're not losing any more weight, you decrease that with 100 or 200 calories, and you just keep at these protocol until you're losing more weight and losing more weight. And if you're not losing any more weight, you decrease your calories with 100 or 200 calories more. Always want to focusing on having 45% of protein and 40% of carbs, and just the way how you are going to reducing the body fat. There's no fucking magic pill. I've seen too many fucking YouTubers who are just making these FUBA 2 weeks gone. There's no way in hell that's going to happen, because at the end of the day, if they're just telling you to do these kind of fucking stupid workouts where they're just targeting the abs and spend like an hour on that, that's not going to cut it. Reason for that is just abs are just the same muscle groups like any other body parts. Because if you are putting a fuckload of like resistance on the abs, you're just building more muscle mass, but it's not going to show so much. It's of course it's going to pop up a bit more because you're just building more muscle mass. But if you're only focusing on the workout, you're not focusing on the diet, just like I explained, you're just having a bigger stomach, but you're not reducing the fat around the stomach area. So you're going to not having a so flat stomach where the abs are showing more. And if you need to build more muscle mass to have like six pack, that's just building more muscle around the abs. And then throughout the diet, you're going to reduce the fat around it. And eventually you're going to lose fat around your waist, your stomach area, and that's just basically it. If you are at your heaviest weight you've ever been, and you are so frustrated being so unhealthy, and you are lacking confidence talking with clients and doing presentations, and you also feel like you don't have a sustainable weight loss plan to lose the weight and keep it off for good, so you can feel confident talking with clients, there's a link in the description where you and I can book a call where you can talk with me, and I can give you solid advice how you can change your lifestyle so you can lose the weight and keep it off. The link is also in the description and also in the comment section. I look forward to talk with you. Bye.